with Layer Social Media here today with another social media masterclass. So during today's session, we'll go over 5 video ideas to win more listings. I think given everything that's happening in our industry, it's wise to focus more of your business development on getting listings. So we're going to talk about 5 ways to do that through social media today, as well as the success magnet bio, how to ensure that your bio is grabbing the attention of your followers or inviting people to want to follow you. Also, 10 perfect posts for starting your Instagram. If you're new to Instagram or maybe you're starting a new page for some reason, I'm going to share with you 10 perfect posts to start up your Instagram. And then something you should absolutely be doing to amp up your geo-farming. If you're working on developing your business and geo-farming is part of that strategy, I'm going to share the one thing you should absolutely be doing in addition to your geo-farming. And then also something that you might be overlooking on your Google business profile. Anybody that's in business in real estate should absolutely be developing a Google business profile. Although it's not really considered social media, I definitely do focus a fair amount of time on Google as well as part of my masterclass series. So we'll talk about that. And then also Google is unveiling a new feature in the search option, and that's short video tab, which is going to definitely play into social media. So great news there. We'll talk about some mindsets for success as well as recommended readings, and I'll leave time for Q&A as always. All right, so the expectation for today's masterclass is, as always, to maintain a growth mindset, be open to making results-based changes in your business that will grow your business. This masterclass is for people that want to grow their business using social media as part of that strategy. And then also take notes and interact by asking questions or sharing any stories. And then lastly, and I think the most important thing here, is to challenge yourself to develop your own social media success strategy. Some of the things I talk about may not be for you, but I will ask you to maintain a growth mindset and work to develop. You know, if I suggest something, maybe that initially might feel like it's not for you, sit with it for a minute and maybe think like, okay, how can I put a spin on this to make it my own? So, all right. One thing that a thought for today as we start off the class is, if you're not taking the time to be in front and center with your connections on social media, you're just creating the opportunity for someone else to do it. There's a ton of realtors out there and they're all on social media. So definitely work to be purposeful on social media. And I've talked about this a lot in past classes where we get on a rabbit hole of shopping and all kinds of stuff that distract us on social media. But it's very important to start off with small time blocks. And I'll talk about this probably in my next class, how we can be more purposeful on social media. It's certainly doable. So we'll talk about that. All right, let's get into the content for today's class. First thing that we're going to talk about is 5 video ideas to win more listings. Again, I think the focus of a lot of your business development should be shifting to be more listing centric. So let's talk about some video ideas to win listings. One way to do that is to post your current listings. And this is, you know, I always say when you have a listing, you've been given a golden ticket to showcase your work. You've been sort of, you know, given an opportunity to say, this is how I will market your home too. So even if you feel like the listing isn't, you know, a luxury listing, or it's just sort of in your average price point, it is an opportunity to showcase you and your work. Everyone is silently interviewing you. So definitely hire a photographer, professional videographer to help you share the story of the listing. One thing to keep in mind is high quality marketing and tours demonstrate your expertise and also your professionalism and commitment to helping your clients achieve their goals. So every listing is sort of an autograph of your work. So definitely take the time to make it shine. The second way is through market updates. Sharing market updates shows your connections that you're in the know as to what's happening in your local market, that you have a pulse as to, you know, you're on the pulse of things. It also provides answers that homeowners need to make the best decisions about their future. They need to understand how long is it taking for homes to sell. What's the sales to close price ratio? So to get your market update, certainly email over to Happy Agent to request it. We just came out with the summer themed market update, so definitely request your market update of a town or a county to do that. And again, I would recommend sharing market updates at least once a month, if not twice a month. You could do of your one for your specific town and then perhaps a second one for the county. All right. A third video idea is neighborhood spotlight tours. These videos tell sellers that you're present in the community, that you are front and center. And some ideas for those video spotlight tours could be to highlight any special event. So especially if you're taking part in a town day, I've even seen agents rent tables at farmers markets. So anything that gets you in front of people, in front of the local residents is a great opportunity for you. Also, talk about appreciation and value increases. I mean, this is substantial. Even though there may be lulls in some of your local markets, overall values are still up. I would also recommend talking about what you love about the area. Perhaps you can do like a top 5 or 10 things that you love about the town that you're focused on, as well as any special amenities of the area. If there's a beautiful like outdoor shopping complex, or like a sports area where there's softball fields, basketball fields, tennis courts. I mean, these things are what drive people to the area. So focus on that. I think that's a fun video series that you could easily do. And then another way, to focus on attracting listings. I know people think open houses, they automatically go to that's buyers. But being strategic on how you pivot that open house can bring some additional opportunity. One of those things is to go live or record a video before the open house starts. So before you put out your sign where the door is still closed, definitely do a walkthrough of the property. But here's what I would say is don't showcase the whole property on your video. No matter whether it's an open house or you are doing a property preview and you want to put it out on social, maybe you have a featured listing of the week or whatever, don't showcase the whole house on these videos. Do a teaser. So always introduce yourself in front of the house, and then invite them to enjoy a quick tour of the property. And so you flip your camera over and you just really are highlighting the main features of the main rooms of the house. So this would be perhaps the living room, the kitchen, and maybe one other room. And then end it with a call to actions, inviting them, your viewers, to reach out to you if they'd like to see the rest of the house, to schedule a tour, send me a message to schedule a time to connect, that type of thing. So it's always about the teaser with a call to action. Another thing that you can do is to take a photo of how busy the open house is. So sometimes in the winter, agents would take a picture of like the 50 pairs of shoes by the door, or all the cars on the street, or simply all the people in the house. Again, this is showing that the market is happening. Buyers are out there, and that would give confidence to sellers, right? And then also thank everybody for coming by. Let your social media audience know that you had a great open house today at, say, 123 Main Street, jam-packed with lots of buyers, well-qualified buyers looking for their perfect place to call home. So if you're thinking of selling, now's a great time. Send me a message to schedule a time to connect. Again, always with a call to action. And then another thing that you can do is your client testimonials. I know that we find ourselves sometimes in a pattern of chasing people for testimonials. A tip that I can give you for that has worked really well for me is to always ask them before closing. So I would ask them right around the time where commitment has been issued. Now, I know sometimes, not often, but sometimes commitment is issued and then the following day's closing. Maneuver that if you can, but what I would say is on average, most closings rather have at least a week between commitment and closing. So that gives you some time, but ask for your review just at commitment, whether you're on the buy or the sell side. And then what I would recommend, a couple of things, is two things. One is to email them with the request and then link all of the sites that you want your reviews written on. So the first one I would always say is Google. And then the second one, perhaps Zillow, Realtor.com, Yelp, whatever, and then list them out, Facebook, etc. But make it easy for them. Tell them all they need to do is copy and paste the review on the following sites. And then another thing that you could do, and this would really be epic, is to have them, if you feel they'd be open to recording a testimonial from the closing table on video, that would be just an amazing thing to have. Or at the final walkthrough, I've seen agents do that as well. So where the buyer's agent is presenting them with a bottle of champagne and congratulating them on their purchase, and by the way, tell everybody what it was like, and so to get that testimonial on video, I think that would just be epic. And you can repurpose these too. So don't just one and done these things. I mean, repurpose them throughout the year. All right, here's a mindset moment. And that is to change your mindset from I have to I get to. And this is especially applicable to social media. I think many agents sort of have a love-hate relationship with social media, and yet it's where we always seem to be hanging out, right? So shift your mindset, especially when you are being purposeful and in that business development mode. And I'll talk about this in next month's class, how to not go down that rabbit hole, and to really be strategic in your time, purposeful in your time on social media. So that's very important. All right. Let's talk about the best and worst bios for growing your real estate business. And I'm talking really specifically to Instagram, but you could certainly use these bios on Facebook, across the board on all social media channels. So here are my tips here. First off, let's start with the worst. The worst bios are centered solely on you, right? And they're cute. They've got emojis, but they really don't tell much. They don't say what market you're covering, what's in it for anyone to follow you, anything that you've accomplished. Really, there's no call to action. There's no website. There's no brokerage mentioned. There's no states mentioned. Just that you happen to love dogs, wine, and you're into manifesting and selling homes. So cute, but it's not really what I would recommend for anyone looking to grow their business on social media. All right, let's get into the best. The best bios are centered solely on your audience. So it's got the WIFM. The WIFM is what's in it for me. So what's in it for me to contact you, to follow you, to anything, right? So make sure, first off, that your first name and industry-related keywords are in the name section of your bio. An example is down below, Tom Smith, Mass Realtor. Secondly is the reason for that is people obviously want to know your name. So that shouldn't be a secret. That shouldn't be a mystery to anybody. And also it will come up if they're searching for realtor, Mass Realtor specifically. So you want those keywords in your name. Secondly, the first line then of the actual bio section needs to tell people the results and benefits they'll get from following you. So why should somebody follow you? And don't fret, I'm going to give you an example as we wrap up this one section of today's masterclass. The second line can be either an example, can be another example of the benefits or results they should expect as a result of following and doing business with you. And then show your expertise with the years of experience and how many people you've helped or any awards that you've received. Recognition that you've received as well. And then lastly, I would say use a call to action telling them how to get in touch with you. One of the things that I've recommended in past classes, and it's actually free and easy, very easy to set up, is called a link tree. And you can customize your link tree with any type of links. It's awesome. I mean, many people use it. So you can go to my profile on Instagram at The Real Renee Tompkins. I'll provide that at the end. I use a link tree. So I incorporate video links, links to webpage, my website, all kinds of links, follow me on this channel, you know. It's very easy to set up and it's completely free. So I think honestly, everybody should have a link tree just simply because it makes it easier for people to reach out to you and also learn about you. So that's a link that you can use, but you can also use the link to your website as well too. If you have a Lair website or a brokerage website, use that. So here's an example of a bio. Take a picture of this if you like, but I think this is a great bio. You have name with an industry keyword. So Tom Smith, Mass Realtor. And then that's the name section. And then in the actual bio section, helping mass buyers and sellers achieve their goals. So that is why someone would follow you. And it's also indicating the market that you cover. You're licensed in Mass. And then award-winning realtor at Lair Realty, 10 plus years experience. So you're saying where your brokerage is and how long you've been in the industry, and then a call to action with links to reach out. And so making it easier for people to connect with you. I think this is a great bio. So I'll want to just take a second and photograph that. You can also find my bio on my Instagram as well. Feel free to copy that as well, although it is specific to what I'm doing. But all right. So again, to recap, the dog mom, the wine lover, the passionate person stuff, that stuff's going to be revealed in your content. I'm not saying to ignore that and to put that under the rug, because that's who you are. So that you should certainly cover that stuff in your content. But I would definitely make the bio about your ideal follower. And as a result of that, you're going to get more followers. It's completely true. And in past classes, we've also talked about highlights, you know, those call outs underneath your bio on Instagram, what to put there, how to even build them. So definitely go back into some of the past classes and watch them. And we will keep bringing them up in new classes as well. But the bio is like the first impression, you know, it's like the about me section on Zillow or your website, your bio on Google. So, it's really like I said, it's a first impression and it's a call to action, inviting people to reach out to you and giving them a reason why they should even do so to begin with. So good stuff. And I just want to recap, this was on last month's, but this was just so impactful. Where are the highest quality leads coming from? Believe it or not, NAR published this and found that the highest quality leads are coming from social media. And the second highest are your CRM. So here's what I always say. Use your CRM in conjunction with your social media. If you are being purposeful on social media, and I'm talking about you time blocking on your schedule to focus on new business development, have your CRM open so that you can make notes in your client files about anniversaries, anything happening in their life, so that you can log that you connected with them and perhaps set a reminder to do so when the time is appropriate in your CRM. Your CRM and your social media time for business development should absolutely be used in conjunction with each other. I believe that wholeheartedly. All right, let's talk about another mindset moment. Is you don't get results by focusing on results. You get results by focusing on the habits and behaviors that bring the results. And this is 100% true. And this is why I think people sometimes will set a goal to build their business on social media. And then after a while, they'll say, well, I'm not really getting anything from it, so I don't really see the purpose of it. And then they just use social media for fun, or they'll go down the rabbit hole, you know, the social media rabbit hole, but they don't really get purposeful in building their business on social media. And so what I would say to that is definitely stay focused on the behaviors versus the results. The results will come as a result of the consistent action that you will apply if you are committed to growing your business on social media. This was one of the ways in which I grew my business in the first few years of becoming an agent. I would close on average just about 8 deals a year from social media. And maybe some would say that's just okay. But as a newer agent, 8 deals a year just from one source was pretty good. And I did that by being an epic storyteller, posting consistently and engaging with my audience. That's it. But I was very purposeful and I dedicated the time to all those things. And I will say at first, it was something that I had to train myself to do, to stay very focused. It wasn't, wasn't super easy at first, but it was a commitment that I made. And as a result of the commitment, I showed up. I did the work. All right, so let's talk about 10 perfect posts for starting your Instagram. So this could be for someone brand new to Instagram, and this could also certainly apply for Facebook or any social network, but or this could be somebody perhaps rebranding yourself, starting a new page for whatever reason. Maybe your old page was hacked, so that's never fun. All right, let's get into some ideas for growing your Instagram and I'll say Facebook page as well. So the first thing I always say is it's okay to get personal. In fact, it's recommended because people will relate to you on a personal level before they ever will a professional level. So people will choose to do business because of you, right? So that is something you want to be very committed to sharing, is perhaps once a week, at least once a week. Make a personal post and show the audience the face behind the account. Let them know a few things about you on a personal level, and use the post as an opportunity to ask them to share something about themselves. So always make it appropriate, though, I will say. Never complain about the job, never complain about a client, never post sarcastic stuff about the job either. I know there's plenty of that content out there, but I would highly recommend not doing that. I don't think it's professional and I don't think it sends the right message. There's a place and a time for that stuff. On your professional page on Facebook is not one of them, or Instagram. Another thing you can do is an intro post. So talk about the areas you cover and any specialties that you have. If you don't have specialties just yet, just simply discuss the areas that you cover. And as I said in the previous screen, some things you'll love about the area, perhaps any events going on in the area, and then highlight why someone should do business with you. And always, always, always end your posts with a call to action, an invitation for the reader or the follower to reach out to you. Each week on Mondays, the Lair agents receive dynamic social media content with captions, calls to actions, as well as hashtags, emojis, all the good stuff. And those do end with calls to actions, but I would say all of your posts, especially your videos and your personal posts where you're not copying and pasting from the content that's given to you, get in the habit of using your calls to actions. And I have talked about those many times in past classes, so certainly feel free to look back and watch some of them. Another thing that you can do is share an entertaining reel that showcases your personality, make it fun, light, and entertaining. Again, I always say make it appropriate, but perhaps you're having a fun day at the beach, or you love playing tennis or eating pizza, or going for a walk in nature. I mean, so many opportunities to showcase you and the things that you love to do outside of real estate. And then maybe some of those entertaining reels can be about real estate. Maybe you got to a property and there's no lockbox on it. So make light of it, make a reel, lots of opportunities for stuff like that. And then also something of value, sharing content that provides value to your followers, such as seasonal home maintenance tips, staging tips. Almost weekly, Lair agents get several pieces that provide great value to the reader or the follower. So agents at our brokerage shouldn't be really searching all that hard for content. Here's another idea I can give you. Go back and look at some of the older Lair content that still might be applicable, that's not really relevant to the current market we were in, but it's still applicable, and record a video. You have the captions in the Lair Marketing Studio, so you have it all written for you, and they're not long, so read them and perhaps record a video just from that stuff. Again, no one really should be struggling for content suggestions, but another idea is to follow other agents to see what they're putting out. But I think with everything Lair puts out, we have more, well, I should say you have more than enough content to share. It's just a matter of perhaps going back and if you want to share the actual post that comes out in its standard in its standard format, but you'd like to record, say, a video on something that came out a few months ago that's still relevant, do it. Absolutely use that stuff. All right, a mindset post again is a prime example of sharing on social media. Everybody loves good vibes and positivity. We also typically do include at least one mindset a week, but you can go back and repurpose some of the other content because that typically is not time sensitive. So go back into that and share some of the older stuff as well. Or even better yet, make a video on something that's mindset related. I think people would very seriously relate to you if you did a video and talked about anything mindset related. And then I would also say, become the problem solver. Showcasing a situation where you became an epic problem solver for your clients, or highlight situations where you can help. So for instance, maybe the appraisal came in short, and as a result of that, if you were on the buy side, you were able to negotiate a situation where your buyers came out winning, or perhaps you helped your seller prepare the home, that help them stage the home, or put them in touch with professionals that made their problems sort of go away, right? The expertise of professional recommendation. So, and talk about that. And again, I think it goes back to being an epic storyteller. And I think that's why people hesitate to share this stuff on social media, because they don't want to come across boastful or bragging. But really, if the mindset was really just coming from contribution, right? So if we did not judge ourselves and perceive that other people were judging us as a result, we would be more apt to share these stories with people. And again, I always say, if you were just simply coming from contribution and sharing how you helped solve the problem for somebody authentically, just put it out there. I think it's amazing. Anytime that I have shared stories, and again, it was just coming from contribution, being authentic, not being boastful, I always got messages in my inbox after, saying, my gosh, that was such an amazing story that you shared. I'll definitely put you in touch. I want to recommend you to my son, my nephew, whoever. These are ways that you can really share your value. Another amazing way is through client journeys. I've had agents on our team do this, and it's had a lot of impact. So ways that you can do that are simply by sharing, like in terms of the seller journey, maybe perhaps showcase how you're preparing for the consultation. Just take a picture of the guides, some of the folders, and just talk about, check into the town, excited, share your emotion that you're excited to meet with sellers today to talk about how you can get them to the closing table. Another part of that process is the home prep and staging. The actual listing. Just signed on a great new listing in Tewksbury, 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. Can't wait to unveil it to you. And then obviously when the listing goes live, as well as the open house, accepted offer, P&S. I mean, there's so much that goes on in the seller process. So each time you take a step closer to the closing table, you should be sharing about it on social media, as well as the buyer journey, the consult, the showing, the accepted offer, inspections, P&S, walkthrough, closing, and then don't forget your testimonials. Again, that's not being boastful. That's providing value. So if your mindset is one that you feel you are being too boastful or really shift that mindset into providing value coming from contribution. All right. And then another way is, I've done this here, small business shout outs. This is a great way to bring brand awareness to local business owners while helping them grow in the process. Again, that giver's gain mentality. Check into the business. So I'll share my thing in just a minute, but check into the business, share photos of your experience, follow them on social, recommend them on social, write a Google review, and then also post a reverse review on social. I've talked about this in past master classes, and this has been a strategy that I have followed and done very well with, and also offer to interview them. And then take it a step further and add them to your pop-by list as well as your CRM. So let me talk briefly about my reverse review. One of the things that I would do here is I would go into a business, and if I like the business, or I know I like the business because I've been there, but even if it's the first time I've been there and like, wow, this is an awesome place, I would go up to the counter and I would ask permission if I could take a few photos or a video and share them on social. Would that be okay? And they all of them were like, oh my gosh, of course. So awesome. So I would do that. I would check in on my phone, share my video or photos, and I would also add an emotion, excited or happy, or whatever it was. And then I would write a small blurb. Oh my gosh, what a great experience I had at ABC, blah, blah, blah. Please check them out. And so, but that's what I would do on my personal page. On my professional page, what I would actually do is I would first start with writing them and I would tell them first. So I would say, would it be all right if I shared this on social media? And yes, they would do that. So I would take the photos and do the video. And then as I was checking out, I would say, I think I'm going to definitely write you guys a 5-star review on Google. By the way, would you be open to following me on social media? I'd love to share this review. I'd love to share this Google review on my Instagram or, my Facebook, whatever. Would you be open to following me? And most times it was the owner that I was talking to, and they would say, yes, absolutely. What's your handle? I'll do it now. And they would follow me right then. I would follow them back. And so I would write a 5-star review on Google. And then at the end of the review, I would also write at The Real Renee Tompkins. So they knew it was me. And then I would share it. I would copy and paste it, put it on a Canva review template, and then share it on social media, tag them in the post, tell people to follow them. So that was my reverse review strategy. Now, I actually share this in a past social media class. I know some of you might be thinking, okay, she's going over a lot and she's speaking fast. I do go over this in other social media master classes. So check out the agendas. I'll most likely talk about it again because it's a great strategy and it works. So as a result, the purpose of doing these things is getting businesses now to follow you. And I will say a lot of people who follow some of the more popular local businesses, they do go in to see who the business is following. And as a result, you get even more followers. So I have done this and experienced it. It's awesome. All right. Another strategy is previews. And this is a great tip especially for new agents. Or someone who's buyer heavy that wants to shift and become listing centric. This is absolutely a great way to do this. Showcasing property previews is a great way to get your brand expertise on social media. Now, a couple of things. One is obviously if it's not your listing, you need permission from the agent. If it's a layer agent, it's within your same brokerage. Ask permission to do this. Perhaps you have a series. Maybe you feature a new property every week. Still obviously get permission to do it. If it's from another brokerage, you absolutely need written permission. So I check with the broker, but I believe that's like an email saying yes, that's fine, should suffice. And you also have to say at the end who the listing agent is. You're not looking to say this is your listing. Absolutely not. But what you are doing is, again, really putting yourself out there as being, forefront in the market, and that you are aware of market happenings, market trends, and a professional in the area that's knowledgeable as to what's happening. And then again, go back to that same strategy, never show the entire house. Don't do it. I've seen a lot of agents do this, and there's no hook. And we talked about hooks in past classes as well too. So again, introduce yourself in front of the house, summarize a few of the features of the home, and then showcase, flip the camera, go in the house, showcase 2 to 3 rooms, and invite them to reach out to you to arrange a private showing. Always end with a call to action. And again, if it's not your listing, you don't necessarily have to say it in the video, but you do have to put it in your caption towards the end. It's fine, but you do have to mention. You don't have to tag them unless they ask you to, but you do have to say at the end. Another thing is open houses. You can post a list of all open houses with a call to action to reach out for private showings. Or again, if you are hosting an open house, inviting your connections. I would even make an event on Facebook. Here's the one thing that Facebook does that Instagram does not, is it allows you to create an event. So creating an event on Facebook for the open house, inviting your followers to attend, letting your CRM, your database know of the event too. Even if, people have just recently purchased, don't leave them out. You never know who they know. So think strategically when you're sending, when you're thinking about open houses. It's not just about buyers. It can certainly be about sellers, and it can also be about referrals. So again, always pivot and think, how can I get more opportunities from this one event? All right. And then, mindset moment, the growth you're seeking is in the work you're avoiding. Gosh, that's deep, but it's true. All right. And then I'm going to invite you to do this one thing to amp up your geofarming. Anybody have a guess as to what that could possibly be? You're investing your time and your money. You've done your research. You plan to get a decent return on your geofarm, but you've been doing this geofarm. Maybe it's 300 homes, 600 homes, 100 homes, 1,000 homes. And it's a slow go. So I want to offer you one thing you can do to significantly amp that up. You know that you're going to have to invest at least 18 to 24 months before you start to see a decent return on most geofarming. To amp up that strategy, I would also be advertising in that same area on social media. 100%. It's like, again, putting all your eggs in one basket. Now, geofarming is a smart strategy, especially if you are going after listings. I always say, do your research, make sure that the geofarm you have selected has a history of a decent amount of turnover. So you're not picking the 850, 950, over $1 million homes that have a very, they don't really sell a lot that much each year. You're looking for the price point that's got more action. That will also bring you, a sale or a listing, but also a purchase on the buy. So look for situations where people are going to make a move up or make a move down, either way. But I would say be very strategic in the price point and the location that you pick. But also get on social media, advertise during that time on social media. Lastly, I know we talked about this last month, but I do want to also encourage you all to protect your accounts by using double factor authentication or getting Meta Verified. Meta Verified comes with a fee. Double factor authentication does not. And I recently have just, I did double factor authentication a few months ago. The only downside is, yes, you have to get a code if you're logging in from a new device. But really, it takes like less than a minute, and it's well worth it, and it's free. So I would definitely recommend going that way. All right, mindset moment is the hard part is really the task itself, but it's your thoughts about it. How many of us talk ourselves we make mountains out of molehills in our minds. And I always say, if you treat it like it's heavy, guess what? It's going to be really heavy. So watch your mindset and your energy, especially around social media. All right, let's get into Google. I love Google. And so one thing that you might be overlooking on your Google business profile, I wonder if anybody can guess what that might be, but I'll tell you. All right. Think a great bio and some reviews are all that you need when it comes to your Google business profile. Yes, but that's not the only stuff that you need. It's also helpful to post regularly to your Google business profile. And yet so many agents don't consider doing this. They think they've done the bio, they've gotten verified, they're on Google, they've gotten reviews, and that's good. I mean, that's all very good. But here's another way to amp up your Google business profile. And this is how you're going to do it. So first, you're going to be in your Gmail account. So for Layer Agents, you're going to go to the 9 dots up top, and you're going to select Google Business Profile. This is what it looks like. The next thing is you're going to post an update to your Google Business Profile. And to do that, you're now, once you select the Google Business Profile from the 9 dots, you're then going to be in your dashboard. And one of those options is add update. And then you simply drag the photo or video and you add your description, select a button if you'd like, and then post it. And you can do this for listings. You can do this for any type of event. You can do this for market updates. And why would you? I always say, again, you're giving the customers more access to your business and updates while remaining top of mind. So I think it's super important to do that, and also easier to reach. You're showing people on Google that you're active, that you're engaging. So definitely post the market updates, anything, again, the WIFM posts. So even some of the Layer social media stuff should go on your Google business profile. And here's some big news about Google, and they're unveiling this. So you might not have it yet. I don't have it yet, but it's coming, which is pretty cool. It's called the Short Videos tab. Like when you Google anything, you'll have an option to look at all images, videos, shopping. One of the new tabs that they're coming out with is called Short Videos. And how does this play into social media? It does. It's pulling content from Instagram, the videos, the reels, as well as YouTube Shorts and anything on TikTok. Again, now I don't know. It could be like the 30-second. It's just short video. So that keep that in mind. But anyway, it's always been these social media has always been about the algorithm and scroll-based discovery, really leaning on that to say what's even showing up in your feed. Now with the help of Google unveiling the short videos, this is epic for social media. So you're not just going to get views from people on, yes, they ultimately have to be on the platform to view, but they're going to find you through Google, which is just epic. So definitely lean into your SEO keywords on social. So again, that's going to be Mass Realtor. That's going to be Tewksbury Realtor, Tewksbury Real Estate, Dracut Townhome, Dracut Real Estate, whatever. I'm just saying Middlesex County, Massachusetts. It could be, but start using your keywords in your social captions. It's absolutely crucial. And then keep in mind, this is a test. They're unveiling it. It's not available on all devices yet. I don't have it. But it's definitely on mobile. It's not on laptops or desktops yet at all. But it's really cool. I'm super excited about this. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up. I always like to include this because it's very impactful. Always think strategically and see the big picture and think, who can I connect with today? How can I provide value, especially when it comes to social media? So important. Let's talk about mindsets for success. Everything starts and stops in the mind. Everything. This is so true. I talked about this recently and it's 100% spot on. Another one is the most important conversations you'll ever have are the ones we have with ourselves, our self-talk. I mean, watch that self-talk. I could get into this, but I won't. But it's epic. Anyway, another one is nothing changes, then nothing changes. So definitely work to make results-based changes in your business, especially on social media. An additional one is commitment is doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. I think everyone needs that reminder once in a while. And as I spoke of this earlier, shift your mindset from I have to I get to. Huge, huge. And then last, and this is also super important, is done is better than perfect, progress over perfection. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Recommended reading for the month. I have this book, I have not started it yet, is How the World Sees You by Sally Hogsheed. It's a big book and it's an epic book. One of the quotes from it are, people can outdo your strengths, but nobody can outdo who you are. Your personality is the only aspect of your work that nobody can copy. So put yourself, put you, and I know we get a lot of great content from Lair, and if any of you are paying for content, you're getting it, but put yourself out there and learn to be comfortable doing that. I know for some of you, it can be hugely uncomfortable and it's part of breaking out of your comfort zone, but this is why people want to connect with you. I always say social media is a room full of people waiting to hear what you have to say. You wouldn't walk in that room and stand against the wall while everybody watched you. You just wouldn't do that. So highly recommend the book, although I haven't read it yet. It comes highly recommended and I'm excited to dive into it. If you are looking for social media inspiration, certainly connect with me at The Real Renee Tompkins. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and Pinterest. I will definitely follow you back. If you follow me, I'd love to connect with you as well. And then, here we go. Any Q&A, any questions? I have a couple in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. We'll do another masterclass. I think it's going to be in the third week of July, third Tuesday perhaps. So keep an eye on the Lair calendar at lairrealty.com/training and register for that. If you have any questions, reach out to me through Happy Agent. I'd love to help you grow your social media. And I look forward to seeing you at next month's masterclass. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.